Great. So I'm here with Everette Taylor. I think I can call him a serial entrepreneur
Yeah.
who has been buzzing as somebody who went from being homeless to being able to create a lot of other businesses. We get to that, but first of all, what brought you to Ghana?
Well, my best friend is Ghanaian. So I met my best friend when I was in college. I'm a college dropout, but before I dropped out, I met my best friend who's Ghanaian American, and he spends a lot of time here, going back and forth, and is very passionate about the country. And my love for him, gave me kind of my love for Ghana and my appreciation for Ghana. And I wanted to always come here, and just looking at the history, as an African American, a lot of our history was erased. But if you look at a lot of the details from the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of it stems right here on the Gold Coast. And so there's a great chance, me being from Virginia originally, even though I live in Los Angeles, that my heritage is actually Ghanaian. So it was really important for me to get out here and really experience the country for myself. And this was actually my first time in Africa.
And in terms of the experience, what did you do while you're here?
So while I was here, on one side, in terms of like being able to just mix with the people, one of my favorite aspects of coming here was going to Impact Hub, that collects some of the best entrepreneurs here in Accra, in Ghana, in Africa in general, that are building that next generation of companies. And I had the opportunity to speak to a packed room of people, and I put on my Instagram that I don't know if I've ever spoken in front of people that were so appreciative, that were so engaged. That's something that I really appreciated, and that was just great, meeting so many passionate and aspirational people that really want to make a difference here in Africa, in the world beyond. Also, going to Cape Coast Castle was a life-changing experience for me. Being in America, we see the other side to it, not like the genesis and the beginning of it. And just being there is so powerful, and it was a very emotional experience for me personally. But I think my favorite moment was on the coast, as we were grabbing breakfast. I saw this youth basketball team playing, and like in the United States, I used to play basketball and everything. Like, not as much anymore, but I used to play organized basketball. So I see these kids playing, and I'm like, I tell my tour guide, Sebastian, who's amazing by the way, hey, I want to play. And he's like, you're serious? And I was like, absolutely. So I take off my jewelry, take off my hat, and I just get out there and play with them. And it was so fun, just being able to mingle and mix with the people. And then on the entertainment end, man, you name it, I've been there. Sky Bar, Carbon, which was lit. They had performances there. I really enjoyed that. I love Afrobeats, and Twist, Bloom Bar. Everything had its own different type of elements to it. Sky Bar, I felt like I was in Europe, which was weird. And then Carbon and hearing the live performances, it was like, man, I'm really home right now. So it's been a great experience.
Talking about music, Afrobeat and all, which are the songs did you pick up? Was there one that kept ringing in your head since you've been here?
There wasn't any one in particular that rings in my head, but the most interesting song that I discovered here is De Chafada.
De Chafada, okay. Unfortunately, the artist is passed. She was killed in a car crash.
Yeah, I heard
grow
about that, unfortunately.
beyond that. So while you were at the Impact Hub, I mean, you talked about seeing people with passion. As somebody who at some point went from nothing to now building a business that within the first year made profit of in excess of, I believe, 2 million.
Yeah.
Do you see that environment here, that people who are passionate about technology, who are passionate about next generation stuff, can also sort of have that kind of breakthrough?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about I tell people all the time that the thing that got me going. So being here in Ghana in Accra, I relate so much more to the people that I see outside as I'm driving by than the people at Sky Bar that has their money and their wealth and things like that. I empathize more about that. I care more about that because I relate more to that, you know, because I came from that. And, you know, I never gave up hope. And I tell people all the time that as soon as you give up hope, it's over for you, right? Because then you just settle for what it is, you know? And if you get that mentality or stay in that mentality, you'll never be able to crawl out of where you are. And so, you know, I tell people all the time that, you know, you have to have that confidence. You have to have that belief in yourself. You have to want it. You have to go hard for it. And it's really, really important for, you know, not only people like myself, but people within the country that have the resources, that have the wealth to support these young people or just entrepreneurs of all ages and ranges and genders to support them and support their dreams and support things that they want to do. And there's so many resources like Impact Hub. I met another guy who has his own incubator. You know, I just want to see people, you know, take action and not just sit in the same, you know, do the same thing every day over and over and over and over. If you're going to go there and like beg for money on the corner every day, you've given up hope, you know. You want to get to a point where you say, hey, I want better for myself. I'm going to try to do something different today.
Let's get a bit into your story. First of all, how did you even become homeless? And how did you get over that to now start a business that is thriving and even moving beyond that to doing other businesses?
Yeah. So, you know, one thing that you might have missed, actually, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but, you know, I've started 4 different companies. I sold my first company, 3 of them still exist. Pop Social is just the newest one. And it's doing a lot more revenue than that 2 million now. You know, that was just our first year. And then I've part owned 4 different companies as well. So 8 companies in general.
In the space of?
In the space of me being 19, I turned 29 this month. Okay. So in the space of 10 years, I've started 4 companies and I've part owned 4 companies as well, all multi-million-dollar companies. And so, yeah, that all stemmed from that moment of being homeless. So when I was homeless as a teenager, it stemmed from myself. I lost a job, and then my mom got laid off as well. And so, you know, she and my sister were able to stay in a women's shelter, but I was out on the street, you know, having to fend for myself. You know, you have different stages of homeless, and you know, I was literally out on the street, right? And it's cold. It's not like Ghana. It snows. It's tough. But during that time, you know, a lot of people assume that Americans just have money. Like, we don't have poverty and things like that. And I tell people all the time, it's not like that. Like, I grew up really, really poor. And, you know, you talk about the internet penetration here in Ghana, you know, not even being 40% yet. I didn't get access to a computer or the internet until I was 17 years old, you know? And so I think a lot of people assume all the Americans, they're 7, 8 years old on their iPads and things like that. No, I didn't have internet till later in life. And when I did get the internet, one of the people I discovered was Mark Zuckerberg. And Mark Zuckerberg, for those who don't know, is the founder and CEO of Facebook. And, you know, where I'm from, we think that you really only have 3 options to be successful. Those options are play basketball or play a sport, rap or do music, or sell drugs, right? My mom got me off the streets, so I couldn't do that. You know, I was good at sports, but you know, there's only 300 people that make it to the NBA in the entire world. And in terms of music, man, my bars are trash. I wasn't a good rapper, and I can't sing a lick. So, you know, that provided me an opportunity I could do something special. And that's something that really, really excited me. And so that kind of saved my life, because I was just like, yo, I gotta get out of this situation. I gotta start my first company. I gotta make it. I'm gonna do it big, and having that fire and that passion, even on those moments where I was dehydrated, I was hungry, I was cold, I was dirty, because I've literally like taken baths in the washrooms, with whatever gas stations had, not having haircuts, all that. And so, I was able to overcome that situation of being homeless. And, my mom ended up finding a job, after a couple of years. And, we have unemployment problems too. Not as bad as Ghana, but we do. And, when I was homeless, I used to wash cars, shovel snow, clean windshields at gas stations, do whatever I could to make money. I saved up enough that I saved up $50. You know what I did with that $50? A college application. One college application. Most people, they apply to multiple colleges. I only had enough money to pay for one college application, and I got it. And it saved my life. It got me off the streets. And I went to college, and the one that I went to was very tech focused. So I learned a lot, and the people I met and the things that I learned before I dropped out was what allowed me to start my first company. And so when I dropped out of college at 19, and I went home, and I'm working minimum wage jobs, I'm like, look, I gotta make this thing happen. So I never gave up hope. And so I started that first company, which was event marketing, and then we created event marketing software, and we sold it.
What was the name?
It was called EG. Yeah. And we sold it 2 years later, and I made a good amount of money, and like I've used that money to create more companies and sell more companies, and it's just been success after success after success. I've been really, really blessed to be able to create so many successful companies and put myself in a position now, where financially I'm able to take care of myself, take care of my family, take care of others, and then also give back as well.
Great. So about the company, can you tell us the ones three of them that are currently existing and what they each do?
Yeah. So there's one is called Pop Social, which is the one that you mentioned. In less than 2 years, we're doing over $10 million in revenue. And this is a social media software company, so everyone wants followers, everyone wants, more customers and different things on social media. So it's a social media software tool that helps you attract customers, followers, things like that to your brand affordably. I'm also CEO of that company. I'm a CEO of 2 different companies right now. The other company that I founded I'm CEO of is a company called Millicents, which is a digital marketing firm. And we do marketing for, Google, Netflix, Microsoft, Walmart, you name it. We do digital marketing for them, and we've done some pretty cool campaigns. And then besides that, there's Growth Hackers, which I'm a co-founder of. And Growth Hackers is now valued at over $60 million. And it is a website community, but that we've grown it to over 2 million users. But on top of that, we have our own software. So we sell software too. And so that's what really makes the money, and it's like team management software. Besides that, I've part owned a few companies. Skirt, which was a on-demand rental car app. So imagine just being home and you get on the app like you're trying to order an Uber or a taxi, and instead they bring an actual car in under 30 minutes that you can drive and take wherever you want to. And then they pick them up when you're done. We just sold that company to Fair.com. And then Qualaroo, which was another software company that I sold. And then currently there's Haver, which is a drug and alcohol addiction app. I don't know what the drug and alcohol addiction issues are here in Ghana, but it's like the #1 cause of death in the US. And so, we're directly fighting that through a drug and alcohol addiction app. And the other company I part own is a media company called Bise, which was launched by Zoe Saldana, the famous actress in the U.S. So I've helped them and own part of that as well. But yeah, man, it's been an amazing experience. I'm actually about to launch this incubator with Snapchat as well. I know I've seen people on Snapchat all over here, where we're actually giving out $150,000 American. I don't know what that is, but it's probably a lot. To start companies and things like that in LA. We're bringing them to LA. So any Ghanaian, entrepreneurs that are interested, it's yellowla.com. Definitely apply. I'll see it. So, yeah.
Great. So finally, any final words out there? Any chance of you setting up companies in Ghana? What should people within the tech space also do to be with the trends and catch up as well?
Yeah, one thing I would say is, it's a few things. Number one, don't lose sight of who you are through the entire process. I see a lot of people now, and I even see it in Ghana. People are obsessed with the material things, and they want the fame and the money and all these things that comes with being successful, but don't necessarily want to work hard for it. Or if they do, get to a certain point, they lose sight of what really matters. And you can't do that. I'll tell you, from the perspective of being on the other side and now having money isn't everything. Money does not create happiness. It definitely helps, but it doesn't create happiness. And so stay true to who you are. Remember why you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do. And hopefully it wasn't, solely focused on money. There's so much that needs to be done here in Ghana, and just the continent in general. And there's so much inspiration that can be drawn from that. So make sure that your passion is in the right place. And then also, don't get so caught up in what other people think. People see like my social media and they see that, oh, you have a large audience on social media and the personal brand and stuff like that. And I am, well known in the States as an entrepreneur and things like that. But to be honest, man, I am an introvert. I just enjoy working hard and spending time with the people that I love. It's not necessarily about all that other stuff, and like kind of drawing back to that first point is like still remembering who you are and like taking care of yourself, like mental health. Getting enough sleep, eating right. There was a point where I gained 30 pounds, man. There was a time where I was, dealing with depression, and these things aren't talked about. Everyone wants to act cool, like people don't go through those things. Like I'm pretty sure you yourself have had moments in your career where you were like, damn, like man, like this is a low point, and we all go through it. So we got to stop pretending that everything is all good, and we got to take care of ourselves and take care of our mental health, man. And as far as opportunities, man, I have like a million ideas already. I think there's so much that can be done here, and I definitely want to play my part and with some of those ideas and bring some of that back, because I think there's so much opportunity here, and I would love to help aspiring entrepreneurs here get their businesses off the ground and things like that too. So yeah, I'll definitely be back. People have been very warm and welcoming, even the people that try to hustle me, taxi drivers, and police too. I see you. But no, man, it's been an amazing experience, and I can't wait to come back, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.